morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support resistance pivot levels. It is Thursday the 31st of December. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, bullish start to the morning here. You're going to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 28,390 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 29,467. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from this morning's high, a new swing high, 29,286. So buying and extending rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 29,500 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see the second major resistance level at 30,055 come into play before any pullback. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 27,802 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer well clear of sub 27,000 levels. Second major support level sits at 26,725. Looking at the MACD, we got a widening of the bullish histogram supporting the early upside this morning. On the EMA, we're also seeing the 50 pull away from the 100 and the 200, suggest a further upside through the day ahead. So keep through the early part of the day, fall through the pivot at 28,390, break through the morning high 29,286 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, slightly bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 742.95 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 768.91. Going to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from yesterday's high and new swing high 759. So buying extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 775 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Ethereum test resistance at 800 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 784.95. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 726.91 into play. Buying an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 700s. Second major support level sitting at 700.95 should limit any downside. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bullish histogram, supporting this early pullback, but need to keep an eye out, nothing suggestive of a bearish cross just yet. On the EMA, seeing the 50 move away marginally from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of some further upside through the morning to reverse this early pullback. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 742.95, break through to 760 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 128.53. Take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 134.47. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's high. It was at 132.89. So buying an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 135 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Litecoin test resistance at 140 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 138.82. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 124.18 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer clear of sub 120s. Second major support level sits at 118.24. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bearish histograms. Nothing indicative of a bearish day ahead, so keep an eye on that. On the EMA, we're seeing the 50 hold its ground against the 100 and the 200. Also, nothing conclusive there either, so need to keep an eye on that. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot at 128.53 and break out from yesterday's high at 132.89 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, some early relief for Ripple's XRP this morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.2135 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 0.2352. Going to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.23 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and on yesterday's high at 0.23739 to cap any upside on the day. In the event of a breakout, should see the second major resistance level at 0.2591 come into play before any pullback. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 0.1897 into play. Buying and extending the sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid the second major support level sitting at 0.1680. Looking at the MACD, we've got a pinch there, so need to keep an eye on that. That's suggestive of an imminent move after a narrowing of the bullish histograms through late yesterday. On the EMA, slight pullback of the 50 from the 100 and the 200, but again, nothing conclusive. So key through the early part of the day to move through that pivot at 0.2135 and return to 0.23 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and Ripple's XRP could be in for another pullback.